I'd like to briefly share my thoughts with you on guessing in the critical reading section. The critical reading section has two different parts. The first part is sentence completion. It's exactly what it sounds like. There are blanks in a sentence, and you need to fill it in with the answer choices, okay? So each answer choice will have a word or a couple of words if there are two blanks. You need to understand the context of the sentence. You then need to pick the words that fill in the sentence properly, all right? Now, if you have a really strong vocabulary, chances are you're going to breeze through this section. But even if you have a strong vocabulary, you may get to a question where there are just a bunch of words that you have never seen before, okay? Don't panic if you're in that situation. There's a way to back your way into the answer. And what I mean by that is this. If you look at your answer choice, you first of all understand the context of the sentence, and then look at your answer choices. If there are some answer choices that you know the definitions of, you know what the words mean, and you know that they don't work in the sentence, well, obviously just eliminate those as answers and then guess from what's left, okay? So my advice is this. If you can eliminate one or more answers that are definitely wrong, just guess and move on. Now let's talk for a minute about the critical reading passage-based questions, all right? I've met a lot of kids over the years who would skip the reading, they'd go right to the questions, and this was their technique, okay? They would be very, very careful about reading the question, okay? The questions on a lot of those problems are very, very tricky. So read the question a couple of times until you really understand what it's all about. And then when you go through the answer choices, a few of the answers are going to eliminate themselves. They're just going to be off the mark. They're not going to be on topic. They're not going to be truly related to the question. So be very careful in understanding the question, because if you don't, you're not going to get the answer right, okay? So spend some time understanding the question, look through the answer choices, and I guarantee you some of them will eliminate themselves. And now if you're stuck between a tough call, or you can't get rid of all of them, go back to the text, read it, see if you can further, narrow it down. But I guarantee you that you are going to get stuck on a couple problems between two that seem to work. Okay? When you find yourself in that situation, do not be surprised, okay? There are a lot of questions that have two answers that work on a certain level, and one the people at the College Board consider better than the other. But I'll tell you what, no matter which way you decide, you are going to be in good company. And what I mean by that is, it's going to be a tough decision for a lot of other really smart kids who are taking the test. Some will choose one answer, and the other half will choose the other answer. And remember that there's wiggle room in the critical reading section. And what that means is this, that you don't need to get every single one right in order to get an 800 or a really good score. Okay? So remember, there will be tough decisions. If you can eliminate a couple answer choices that you know don't work, guess and move on, and hopefully that will help you maximize your score.